Autumn and Shanna are getting married. So last time we talked, Autumn Volkov, the heir of my legacy challenge, proposed to her best friend turned lover, Shanna Kealoha, during a romantic and intimate picnic in Henford-on-Bagley, Shanna saying yes. I'm not crying, bitch. You're crying. Team Shantum is alive and well. Autumn took her now fiancé home with her to Moonwood Mill for some post-proposal celebrations. They weren't going to tell their families just yet. They were going to soak it in for a moment, sharing some of the cake Autumn had baked for them. And I think you know what they did afterwards. I mean, to each their own. But that chair looks a bit uncomfortable to get wicked on. Meanwhile, Ezra finished his second semester of college, and instead of immediately signing up for another term like he had planned to, he randomly decided he was going to take a break. Weird. And our founder Alexis was beginning to get burned out from her job. At this point, girl, you may as well just retire. The elder stage is right around the corner. Christopher's midlife crisis had really began to kick in, him suddenly getting the urge to improve his mixology skill. Your daughter is literally a recovering addict. Probably not the best idea. Once Shanna woke up from napping with Autumn, she started reading her tomes once again, and even bought herself a few new ones online. Autumn went downstairs to eat some breakfast while Shanna studied, her joining her downstairs soon after. They were so in love, both in disbelief that they were now each other's fiancé, and after having a night to soak it all in, it was time to tell their families. OMG Nicole, sick wedges, perfect for spring. Autumn told our founder Alexis first about the engagement, and she didn't even seem to care. Alexis, what the fuck is wrong with you? Are you being petty for Autumn refusing to be your flower pal for your wedding back in episode 21? Christopher, however, was super excited for Autumn, and Shanna used this opportunity to reintroduce herself to him. Shanna, for the love of God, stop being such an NPC. Despite being friends since childhood, Shanna barely knew Alexis and Christopher. She had spoken to them just a handful of times, so making a good impression as Autumn's new fiancé was a must. Goodness Shanna, the girls are girling in that top. Christopher really enjoyed Shanna's company and found her fun to talk to. He was stoked for her to become his new daughter-in-law, despite the two of them having bad compatibility. Shanna is always happy and Christopher is always crying like a little bitch, so I guess it makes sense. Alexis, what stick is up your ass today? After telling her parents, Autumn told her brothers Edward and Ezra. Edward was thrilled for Autumn and asked if he could bring Hillary as his date. Of course he could, and she couldn't wait to see Ezra's reaction, not only to her engagement, but also to her request of him being the officiant. Ezra would be honored to officiate Autumn's wedding, just like Jacob did for Alexis and Chris. He was so incredibly happy for Autumn and so proud of how far she'd come since the lodging trip. But even though he was happy for her, he was a bit bummed out too. He was losing his twin sister, his other half. They weren't going to be living with each other anymore, and that made him fear the future. When all of his other siblings begin moving out and living their lives, would he still be here in this house in Moonwood Mill, completely alone? Would it be like his teen years all over again? So Christopher, which one is it? Are you into mixology now or mixing? After Shanna left for home, Autumn spent some alone time working on her garden while Nicole went jogging. Not expecting a visitor, Caleb Vitor was back and looking for Nicole. Instead, he was greeted by Ezra, the two of them meeting for the first time. Christ, Ezra, put your uterus tickler away. Caleb waited patiently outside for someone who wasn't rampaging, being greeted by his new friend Autumn with a handshake and a smile. Autumn kept it real with Caleb. She knew why he was here. He likes Nicole, and she wanted to know if he was planning to do something about it. It's true, he does like Nicole, and was going to do something about it. Autumn was so happy for Nicole for finally getting herself out there and exploring the dating world. But she warned Caleb that if she hurts her little sister, she will come for him. Nicole freaked when she realized Caleb was at her front door. She just went on a jog and smelled like shit, so she quickly gave herself a bath, licking herself clean. Because coating yourself in saliva is so effective, she went up to Caleb, them greeting one another with a cheek kiss. He gave her lots of compliments, making her blush. Nicole could tell Caleb was clearly nervous about something. He eventually just went for it, asking Nicole if she wanted to go out on a date tonight, right now. Nicole was taken aback, but intrigued and turned on by Caleb's boldness. She would love to go on a date with him, and so he took her to a jazz bar in Newcrest. Let's see how this goes.